Ricky Simón, we already talked about him earlier, but he gets the TKO round 2 win over Raphael Assuncao. Not much to say that we haven't said earlier, right? He put the pace on him. He put the grind on him. He is a grinder, very Michael Chiesa fashion right there, but in the bantamweight division, or in the bantamweight division. And like I said, he got the win over a legend. And that's kind of the thing, man. This was the narrative today. So Raphael Assuncao, Wonderboy Thompson were kind of neck and neck here for two people who have been staples of their division, who just took a loss against the new breed. And Ricky Simón isn't even really the new breed because he's been around. It's not like people don't know who this guy is. But Ricky Simón is officially going to have a number next to his name come this week. And it's funny because Michael Bisping was all like, Ricky Simón, you beat your first ranked opponent. Ricky was all like, Bisping, I beat a bunch of ranked opponents, but I mean, it's okay, bro. No worries. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show how little respect Simón gets, man. You know, it's like people don't know who he is, but if you're a real fan of the fight game, you know how dangerous and how scary of a man he is, and how many people don't necessarily want to fight him. And when they do say they want to fight him and they do challenge him and they find out in the cage what that pressure is like, you're like, okay, I don't know if I want to fight that man again. Just like Brian Boom Kelleher, when he calls out Ricky Simón and they fought at 145 pounds, it was just like, you sure you wanted to make that call out? Well, when you found out in the cage, I don't know, man. Listen, the prospects of Ricky Simón are very high. Where is the area of his game do you think that needs the most improvement for him to really succeed in the top 10 of the bantamweight division?
Oh, it's a good question. The easy answer is the stand-up, because obviously his ground game and his wrestling and his pressure are very impressive. His cardio is impressive. This dude has power, but I think the jab, the 1-2, the slick, the movement, the head movement that he can provide, that's going to be the only problem I see against a fighter like we were talking about against the Sugar Show. Yeah. If you don't have that slick head movement, that long jab, anything that's going to kind of keep the other guy from doing what he wants to do, that's the only place I see Ricky Simón really needs the improvement on. But even at that, he's very impressive in that aspect too, man. He does have a good head movement. He stays in that wrestling stance, a little bit lower, a little bit, down, ready to shoot, which is his game plan. Yeah. But it can leave a taller guy able to punch down and keep you at bay.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think in the stand-up, too, the biggest thing that I'd like to see is a little less of that full tilt overhand bombs and a little more of touch and go, you know what I mean? A little more Randy Brown, Rude Boy style, where you're just touching them, moving, da-da-da, Angela Hill style, too, right? You know, either way, that was a big win for Ricky Simón, man. Don't have much to say on it that we haven't said already once again, but shout out to the fighter hailing out of Vancouver, Washington, putting on for the Pacific Northwest, Gracie Baja, Portland. Listen, man, that's much love right there, man. Portland doesn't really have, he's not, they call him the dude fighting out of Portland, but, he really reps that Washington a little bit more. But the Pacific Northwest in Oregon doesn't really have that fighter that they could really call upon. Chael Sonnen was really the only one doing it for Oregon, and he reps the mean streets of West Lynn, you know what I'm saying? So, listen, a little bit different, but shout out to Ricky Simón.